is time for the day of reckoning. Coon daggers. A bunch of Victor number 3s for the coyotes. We're trying to get everything organized and in the truck so Monday morning, bright and early, we can get to setting traps. Screen wire, gloves, and something else. I can't remember what it was. Topsoil. Dry bag. It is Monday, the day after the first gun season here in Illinois. And me and Patrick have had a belly full of deer hunting. We've been hunting since the 1st of October. It's been the worst season ever on record. So we have got the traps ready to go the past 2 nights. We have seen more coyotes this year than I've ever seen before. Got a lot of permission from the adjoining landowners, and we are fixing to put the hammer down on some coyotes and also some coons in the next 2 weeks. So trapping season's here. I'm hoping to catch, I don't know, somewhere around 200 coons and, you know, hopefully 20 or 30 coyotes here in the next few days, or next 2 weeks anyway. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm a professional trapper by any means, because I'm not. I've never trapped a coyote up here in the Midwest. Had plenty of experience in the South, but I need to brush up my coyote know-how. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Missouri and visit with Robert Waddell. He is a professional trapper and probably one of the best coyote trappers in the world.
We're on a drainage ditch crossing. We've got a long continuous fence row here. All the coyotes right here are funneled to come across this machinery crossing here. We're looking at the prevailing wind. 5 days out of the week, the wind here is going to be out of the northwest. Any coyote coming around here is going to come around. They're going to be downwind of that set where it will smell that odor coming out of that hole and work that set. Basically, here in the Midwest and most of the eastern states, especially the southeast, the coyote is an invasive species. Originally, those coyotes were primarily in the western states, and over the course of the last 20-25 years, we've seen, well, or in this case here in the Midwest, the last 30 years, we've seen these coyotes come in and migrate across the Mississippi River and on into these southeastern states where historically there've never been any coyotes. Need just a little bit of something for some backing, nothing real serious. We're gonna use this drill. You can dig your holes with a trowel or a tile spade or whatever. This drill just makes digging these dirt holes faster and easier for me. When you're walking around in CRP and in your pastures and stuff, you'll see where coyotes have dug up mice burrows and small rodent dens, and this will, when we get done with this is gonna look like a coyote's been here and dug something up. I use screen wire for my pan covers. This screen wire goes over the pan and keeps the dirt from getting underneath the pan so that the trap will fire when we cover the trap with dirt. The screen wire works best for me. Basically, we set it over the trap, over the pan like that. Then we're going to set the trap like this and set that dog right through that screen wire. Now the trap's set and the trap is ready to bed, to plant here in the trap bed. Okay, basically, again, we're going to offset from center line to where the animal's foot actually lands on the pan. When the animal sticks his nose in that hole, you've got to understand how he's where his foot placement is and offset for the right or the left foot. And get that trap covered with about that much dirt. Get in there with both hands and pack it around that trap. You don't want that animal feeling anything loose, anything moving underneath his foot when it steps in there, except for when the trap actually goes off. If you're not sure where your trap pan is after you've covered up, you can uncover it just with a swipe of your finger and see where the trap pan is. You need a 1/4 to 1/2 inch of cover of dirt over the trap. You can move some clods around, use the aggregate, the chunks that come out of your sifter, kind of help guide the foot a little bit if you want. But we've got a big open area up here. We don't want that coyote's foot to land there. So a couple pieces of coyote scat kind of helps ensure that that foot's going to land where we want it, right there inside that trap. Just a commercial bait, chunk of sheep's wool.
Dead fish.
Petrified goldfish, yeah. Anyway, just commercial bait on some sheep's wool down the hole, and gonna give it a shot of coyote urine. Those pieces of coyote scat or dried out, put a little urine on there and some urine on the back of the hole, and you're good to go. Any coyote, the thing that most people fail to understand, coyotes are very simple. Basically, if you just remember that a coyote is a thief. Even we catch a lot of coyotes that are packing food. They may be packing a deer leg, a chunk of a calf hide, or a back leg off of a lamb or whatever when he works this set. But he knows that there's bait down that hole. He knows that there's food, and he smells where another coyote has buried it and put that in there as far as urine and marked it on his own. And they're just thieves. Even if he's not physically hungry, he will stop and work this set and dig it up, move it over here 20 yards. Bury it himself and mark it as his own. It's just a big game to him. It's no different than your dog going to the neighbor's yard, digging up a tidbit and taking it back to your yard and burying it and marking it as his own. It's just a big game to him, and if you just remember that a coyote's a thief, and that urine generates that type of response. It generates that theft response. They're very easy to catch once you kind of figure a few things out. The impact of the coyote on the white-tailed deer, especially during the fawning season, can be pretty tremendous. Those female coyotes, when they're raising those litters, they've got to feed those pups every day. They need a high-protein diet because of the milk when they're lactating and feeding those pups. And they'll easily take a fawn a day for a month, every day for a month, if they can find those fawns if they're available.
I think we've probably got the location of all locations right here. We got a small patch of woods, and a big long drainage dip. It's probably a half a mile long. And right here we've got a crossing where the farmer's been crossing. And I can probably guarantee you there is at least a half a dozen coyote tracks right down here. So, oh yeah, there's coyote tracks right there. My biggest setback in Illinois is finding locations to set traps for coyotes. Down south it's easy. You got roads going through the timber, you got a crossroad, there's tracks in the road. It's pretty simple. Here our ground is so hard this year, it's dry. You can't really find any tracks, but you can look in an aerial map, or you can basically, if you know the area, you can figure out where the coyotes are traveling. Once you find that X, once you find out where that coyote is traveling, it is as simple as it can be. You know that feeling on Christmas morning when you was a little kid? You asked for a toy train, and you got a toy train and a bike and a remote control car and a box of candy and everything else you ever wanted. Check it out. We got a double on coyotes, baby. Woo! The thing about trapping coyotes rather than, say, a raccoon, your trap locations are going to be way more spread out. You may have, 2 or 3 locations on a 500-acre farm where that's where you're going to catch every coyote that's coming through there. This double swivel is what ensures that that coyote does not tear its foot up. As you can see, it swivels freely when the coyote gets caught. And he's got a swivel here and here, so that coyote has no chance of breaking its foot or getting bloody, getting hurt. When that coyote gets caught in this trap, as you can see, I'm using an offset jaw. This trap does nothing but hold them there. I've got video of coyotes getting caught. They hit the end of the chain one time, and they stand there and look around like, well, I'm caught. And all you do is come back, take care of the coyote. No pain, no suffering. It's quick and easy and very, very effective. One of the myths that I constantly hear is these traps that I'm using, they are breaking the legs, making them suffer until we get there to take them out of the trap. Well, here's the trap that I'm using. This is a Victor number 3 offset jaw, which means it's got a little piece there that keeps the jaw from closing all the way on the animal's feet. It's a 4x4. It's got 4 springs, so it more quickly comes out of the ground. And basically, to prove the point wrong that this trap does not hurt an animal, check it out. Right there. If that trap would break my hand, I would not stick my hand in it. And if it would break an animal's foot, I wouldn't use it to trap animals. So there you go. Myth busted. Yes, this trapping it's a necessary management practice. We're doing a job taking these coyotes out and managing for whitetails, but this is what we do. There's nothing more enjoying than taking a break from deer hunting. We've been hunting for a solid 2 months, and just getting out and enjoying the outdoors. I mean, there's no better way to learn the land than trapping. I mean, trapping takes more knowledge of the animal that you're after than any other outdoor sport there is. And I just can't say enough about it. I mean, even taking kids, it's a great way to take kids, teach them how to trap, and pass this on to future generations. I mean, that's the thing about it. Trapping is a dying art. Nobody's doing this anymore. Nobody takes their kids out and does outdoor activities where you have to actually outsmart an animal. And there is nothing more enjoyable than outsmarting an old wily coyote. You know, this is something that any landowner can do. I ran traps for 2 weeks and basically ran 12 to 18 double sets, so 2 to 3 dozen traps for 2 weeks, and caught 31 coyotes.
There's a place I go, tucked back in the pines, where a green field grows, my own little paradise. I'm thankful for this land and the life that it provides. See, the measure of a man is what he leaves behind. Oh, oh, take what you need and pass it on down.
Sometimes you just got to get on old Chucky. Let him loosen up a little bit.
I am what I am. If you sit me down, I'm going to talk like this. Kid trails in pine plantations, nothing can be better.
That'd have been good if he hadn't just bulldozed the camera.